Welcome to the Row by Row Gardening Show, the best dadgum gardening show on the internet, where we talk about gardening, a little bit of cooking, and growing your own food. Now sit back and enjoy. You know, this is something we did probably 12, I was thinking it's probably been 12 years since we've had our asparagus bed. And it is absolutely, I've not tended to it like I should have. We're gonna go over that today. But man, as it gave back. Yeah. It's just something we take for granted. And when was the last time we bought asparagus?
Gosh, I can't remember.
Now, we like to grill our asparagus with our steak.
Yeah.
But
if you've never eaten asparagus straight out of the garden, the taste is just unbelievably different.
It is.
Than what you buy at the grocery store. You know, if people come over that's never seen asparagus grown, and, you know, as we always do, we break it off and let them taste it, and they're just...
Eat it raw out of the garden. I do that all the time.
And we have, how long is that row?
It's about 25 feet. One row, 25 feet.
Yeah, I mean, and we feed our neighbors, our staff. It just keeps on giving.
It's one of those things that I really don't pay a lot of attention to, but when I walk by there and see the asparagus coming up, I'm like, well, we got asparagus. I go get my knife or the asparagus knife, and I cut it, and we have asparagus that night. It's just like, bam,
yeah,
asparagus is here. We got to eat asparagus. It lasts us, if my memory serves me correct, 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, now you can harvest it every day.
You can force a little bit after that. You go there and mow it down and force some new spears after that to get some. I do that occasionally. I just neglect the heck out of that asparagus.
Yeah, we don't fertilize it.
I should.
Yeah.
But we just neglect it, and it makes, it's just, now, that being said, folks, if you're at a rental property or if you're at a house, Maggie, everybody loves you to death, and I do too, but girl, you got to get out. If you're at a place that you know you're not going to be there, if you're at a starter home and you're planning on building a house 2 or 3 years from now, don't plant asparagus. You need to be at your forever home or your forever homestead to plant asparagus, because it is time consuming to get it started, get it going. But once it's there, man,
Can you do it in a grow bag?
I wouldn't recommend a grow bag, but I did think about a raised bed. I think a raised bed would be okay.
Yeah.
Now, can you move a raised bed after asparagus stems? I don't think it's probably worth the effort. But I do think.
Can you move the asparagus?
I wouldn't, no, because you're disrupting the root system. I do think a 4x8 raised bed would work for it. We've never done it that way because we got a room.
That this year.
But that would definitely work. Yeah. So, what do you need to do in asparagus, and can you grow asparagus where you live? Now, we live in 9A, zone 9A. This is my opinion. I think anywhere all the way down to zone 10 you can grow asparagus. Some literature I've read online said you couldn't. Look in, we've done wonderful with it here at 9A, and I see no excuse why 10 couldn't grow it either. We've had little, if any, disease with ours. I've not ever sprayed it with an insecticide or a fungicide. Yeah.
So the number one thing you want to do is choose the right location.
You need full sun. It
has to have 6 to 8 hours of full sun, well-draining soil, slightly acidic.
Anywhere from what? 6.0, 6.5, somewhere in that range.
6.5 to 7.5.
Yeah, somewhere in that range here, and I think you'll be fine. Now, your soils, we plant ours, we got sandy loam soils here, it's ideal. Clay soils work well too. You probably need to do a little bit more preparation if you have some loose clay soils.
It really prefers sandy loam soil.
That's what we've gotten it done extremely well.
With good drainage.
Yeah. If you're doing clay soils, I would do more amendments in there. So the one way that I did it, and I think this works with sandy soils or clay soils. Clay soils, you probably need to go a little bit bigger, a little more amendments there. But you want to plant this in the springtime after the danger of frost has passed. Now, we've got 3 different ship dates on asparagus. What that means is we're getting crowns in March, April, and May. As soon as we get them in, we'll ship them out to you. So you can pick the month you want to buy asparagus crowns. Now, we have sold out for March the 15th and April the 15th, and have sold mostly out for May. These things have sold like wildfire. We were able to call yesterday the supplier and get more sent in here. So we've upped our inventory, and we do have some more available for March shipment, April shipment, and May shipment. So when those are gone, that's probably going to be it. We're probably not going to be able to get any more, and they have sold unbelievably
So
well.
we have 3 different varieties. You want to pick a popular variety that you know is going to grow well. The first one is Mary Washington. It's an heirloom green.
That's the one we have planted.
It's known for being tender, flavorful. The spears are adaptable, rust resistant, winter hardy, and can provide abundant harvest for 20 years.
Yeah, it's done fine for us. I don't think it's the most productive variety out there. We have a new one called Millennium. This is a newer bred variety.
It's a mostly male hybrid variety.
I think it's superior. I really do. It doesn't have the name recognition Mary Washington does, and we've sold way more Mary Washington than we have Millennium. I think Millennium's a better variety.
But it grows in a more variety of soils.
It does. It's easier to grow.
It's in especially heavier soils. So if you do have clay.
I would go with the Millennium anyway. And I know the Mary Washington is the most popular one. It has a great name to it. But Millennium, I do think is a superior variety as far as productivity, disease resistance, and all that. So that would be my go-to. That's probably what, if we plant a raised bed, we'll use the Millennium.
Then we have Purple Passion. It's purple spears, sweeter taste, tender texture.
And it's purple, so you got these antioxidants in there. Now, to me, I would plant probably a few of the purples if I'm planting a big long bed. I would not use the purple as my standard go-to variety. I think it's great to mix in there at the end of a row or maybe a little raised bed, but I would definitely plant the green Millennium, to me, as my standard go-to. And then
instead of Mary Washington?
I would plant Millennium over Mary Washington. I would. I think it's a better variety. I think it's.
Well, I don't know. It could beat Mary Washington that we've had for 15 years.
It's been good, but the breeder, I had a long phone call with a grower of Millennium, and she assured me that it was a lot more productive variety and, like you said, better suited for all different soils. So she said it was a lot better, and I'm going off her word here that it is, because it's a new variety, and there's a lot of work done into the selection of that variety there. Now, we sell these things as bundles. You can buy some of all 3 there. But if you're just going to buy one, I'd buy the Millennium. If you're going to get 2, I'd probably get the Millennium and the purple, some of the purple. Now, the purple, the only difference in it is you got to plant it a little bit closer than you do some of the rest of them. But that's really the only difference. You would plant it, care for it the exact same way.
And these are crowns. So talk about crowns and planting those.
So crowns is the preferred way of planting asparagus, and these crowns are probably this big. It's root systems. They look horrible when you get them. They're brown, but they got these roots coming off there. The reason you want to plant crowns is because you get a head start. It doesn't take as long to get asparagus established.
You still have to wait 1 to 2 years.
This is a huge thing with asparagus. What you have to do is you have to establish that plant, make sure it's got a very viable root system, because what you're doing when those spears come up is you're chopping those off and you're stressing that plant out. So if you do it too early, you're going to cause that plant to stress and cause it to die. That's the reason they want you to wait 2 to 3 years to harvest those spears so you can get that root system really grown in well. Now, once you get that root system grown in after 3 years, you can stress the heck out of that plant and it'll continue to shoot up. You can be nasty to it and it'll continue to shoot up as we do. But those first couple of years, you got to be careful not to overdo it, because you're in that process of growing that plant in to have a good root system that's spread out, that's doing extremely well. Once you get that and get that in there, now the second year you can harvest a little bit. You cheat a little bit, but your third year is when you're really going to start getting the harvest off of them.
Plant in early spring.
After the danger of frost. Now, I think, really and truly, March is fine. April's probably the best month to plant for us, and May's going to be okay too. So don't feel like you're missing the window there if you can't do it a particular month. Just as long as you get them in and you get started. You just got to get started with asparagus.
How deep?
Oh, probably about 12 inches deep. Is that what the recommendations say?
No, 6 to 8 inches and then 12 inches apart.
Yeah.
Except for
Well, this is what I did. I dug down a trench about 12 inches and I backfilled it with compost. Now, this I think is a good strategy here. Dig your trench out 12 inches, put you some good compost in there, 3 or 4 inches of that. And let's talk about pre-plant fertility, because we want to get these crowns off to a really good start. So good compost especially for you guys out there that have those clay gumbo soils, is going to come in handy. Even if you got those sandy soils, this compost is going to be a absorption for nutrients there. So a good thick layer of compost. Now let's talk about fertility. Some of the guides out there, including I, says you can use the 10-10-10, and you can. You can put a pre-plant in there, 10-10-10. I'm going to tell you what my preferred method would be, is to use complete organic. And the reason is because it has a longer chain of release there. So we're going to be feeding those plants for up to probably 3 to 4 months easy. And it's less likely to burn off any new roots here because it's not near as strong. We love that complete organic as a pre-plant. Here's another one too, folks, bone meal. And I normally never ever recommend bone meal for vegetables because bone meal has problems. It's got a long release time, but that's actually perfect for asparagus. Bone meal is mainly phosphorus, but it has some nitrogen to it also. Most of the time you'll find bone meal about a 4% nitrogen, about 15% phosphorus. We know the asparagus needs a lot of phosphorus for that root development. So bone meal, I think, is a good pre-plant ingredient to mix in with that compost and put your crowns on top of that. I don't like it for vegetables because it takes so long for it to absorb and to convert. Most of the time your vegetables are one and done by the time it's over with and your bone meal works in there. But I do think bone meal works extremely well for asparagus.
You want to keep it moist but not overwater it.
Yeah, if I was going to put drip irrigation down, and I can't remember if I did or not, it's been so long ago, I would use the 15 mil, and you're going to get about 5 years out of that, and then after that, your asparagus is well established anyway. So if you're going to put it down, run your line of 15 mil, bury it underneath the soil there. As you put those crowns in, put that tape all a couple inches under the soil there, and you got good irrigation there to get those plants established. That's going to help you a lot, especially if it turns off dry.
The other thing that's really important is to keep the weeds out, because the weeds will damage the roots.
This is a tough one here.
And this is where we've failed over the years.
It is. So there's a couple things I'd recommend there. Now here's the deal, folks. If you're going to have asparagus, you're going to have weeds. Don't let it freak you out.
Stay on top of it.
But try to do best you can. Now, this is what I would do, and this is what I did my first 3 or 4 years, and it helped a lot. I kept them mulched.
Yeah.
I kept them mulched, and that helped the weeds down. Now, after our asparagus gets established, after the first year, and I should have brought some here, our weeder weed control is Treflan that we sell. It's ornamental weeder. You can spray that on the top of asparagus after the ferns die back in the fall of the year. You can spray it down, and it will help with your weed control.
So you could do that with ours right now?
I've got actual, let me read. I printed off the documentation on that. Let me read that. All right, asparagus. Established vegetable and ornamental weeder. That's the name of the product here. Let's put the product page up right there. It can be applied to established asparagus as a single application. Apply to asparagus after ferns are removed, but before spear emerges. And that would be after you get a frost in the fall. So after you get that frost in the fall, you can apply Treflan, and it'll give you winter weed control until those spears come up. That's really the only herbicide application I know you can do. That with good mulching is going to help you.
And in the winter, you want to, after the ferns turn brown, you want to cut it back.
Mow them off. I just take my lawnmower and mow them off.
And then put more mulch and compost in there to, again, keep the weeds suppressed.
Now I can tell you this is what's going to happen with you on this right here, because I've been down this road. You're going to do really good for 3 or 4 years, and you're going to get that. You're going to keep that asparagus established. You're going to start getting good results there, and then you're going to start gradually losing the battle with your weeds and the grasses. Don't let that bother you a whole lot. Do the best you can, but when you start losing that battle and you lose that battle, you're still going to make asparagus. Ours is completely grassed over out there, and I keep it cut with a lawnmower. And I go out there in springtime. Now, I don't mow it like I do my yard. I mow it every now and then. But we go out there, and through that grass, that asparagus is shot up there.
How much better it would do if it didn't have the grass.
You're exactly right, but at some point after a 5, 6, 10-year period, you're going to lose some battles there. Do not let it, try to do the best you can, but don't give up on it if you do, because you still won't have a good asparagus bed. And the fact of the matter is, if you have a long-term asparagus bed, you're just going to have some weeds.
And as far as pest control, we've not had any issues. I did read where there's a such thing as asparagus beetles.
Never in the 12 years have I treated
And it
mine
said
with
just
anything.
treat it with neem oil.
Yeah. So if you have a problem like that, address it. But otherwise, we haven't had any problem whatsoever.
Now, we do have an asparagus growing guide on our website under Hollis University. So all these tips, you can go online and pull that up and refer back to.
This may be a little premature, but this is an asparagus knife that we use to harvest our
Can you take it
asparagus.
out?
Well, I
Or you
don't
don't
ever
want
get
to?
it back in there. And this thing is really sharp here on the end. The thing about harvesting asparagus, as soon as those spears get up about 8 inches, you want to get them then. If you miss them, they're going to turn into a fern. They get a fern, F-E-R-N. They're going to get tough. You can't harvest them. And that's okay. That helps feed your plant underneath. You're going to miss a few of those, and you should. But on a daily basis, you go out there and cut you a few of those asparagus. You can use something like this right here. What you want to do
You want
is
to cut it right at the
base. So that's the
at
reason.
soil level.
Well, actually, yeah, at soil level below the mulch. So what this helps you do is go underneath that mulch there, and you can kind of just push it in there and cuts off really sharp there. You can use a knife. You just have to reach down there and get real closer and cut it off there. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, asparagus is, I think, if you're at your forever home, you need to have your asparagus bed. We love asparagus. If you don't like asparagus, don't plant it. We love it grilled. We love it grilled and stir fried every which way. You can definitely tell after you eat asparagus and you go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
it will make
yeah.
your pee stink.
Bad.
But it's healthy for
You
you.
think something's really wrong with you.
Yeah, but it's
I
good
need to
stuff.
look up what causes that.
It's something, I've read it before, something in the asparagus.
Yeah. So if you have any questions about asparagus, put it in the comments below, and we'll get to answer your question.
I did not answer the question why you don't plant crowns. Okay, so the crowns are second or either third year. They grow these off at the nursery there. They dig them up, send them, and that's what we're sending out, the crowns. The reason you want to plant crowns is because it helps establish those stalks, or the spears or the plant, so you could harvest a lot sooner than seeds. But the main thing is male asparagus plants produce the most. So we want predominantly male plants, and with crowns you're getting predominantly, not all, but predominantly male plants.
Do you have to have female?
I don't know that you have to have female, but female's one that creates all the berries on there. They just don't produce very well. If you plant seeds, you don't know what you're going to get. So that's two reasons.
And it takes extra years.
It takes at least an extra year if you plant the seeds. That's the reason we don't sell asparagus seeds, and I don't recommend you planting asparagus seeds. Plant the crowns so you can get predominantly male plants, which is the most productive, and you take at least another year, year and a half, 2 years maybe, off from that cycle. That, you know, it's tough on you to sit there and watch and baby something for 3 years, but it's well worth it. So if you cut a year off that, definitely go with the crowns. Costs just probably a little bit more or a lot more, but it's well worth the money. I got a feeling we're going to have some good pretty weather in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to
I
get
hope
our
so. I got all my beds cleaned out. I'm ready to.
I'm ready to.
Got my flowers planted in the greenhouse.
Greenhouse is filling up.
Yeah, typical.
Yeah. So get outside along with us and get those hands dirty.